Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I tell you, exciting, tickle pink. We got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. So we're celebrating today. A little bit more than 3 months on E360 TV, and I tell you, it's been a journey, it's been a ride, it's been fun. And so if you're watching this on E360 TV, thumbs up. If you're watching it on a YouTube channel, Facebook, Zoom, Twitter, or over 20 plus other mechanisms, welcome to the show. And I also want you to know that you can be part of the show. We're coming to you from StreamYard. All you have to do is just, if you want to make comments, if you want to talk, just say anything, just authorize StreamYard to use your Facebook or profile picture. And you can ask us any question you want to, but I got to bring this absolutely fantastic co-host of mine on, Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is a celebration of the past guests we've had on the show, a celebration of the founder, CEO of this amazing platform. And want to get the full story about the vision, what the goal was, and just everything we can ask him about himself. So this is going to be a great show today, James.
Yes, so especially with that great guest, we get ready to call him out by name in a minute. That the founder, the president, CEO of E360, they're doing a lot of great things, bringing in a lot of different partnerships. And Michelle, I'm just happy to be a part of this great legacy that he is starting. I'm talking about the building, the empire, and what I call it. So we're talking Aaron and Michelle. I tell you what, why don't we get this show started? First of all, can you tell our listeners and viewers the title, purpose, and then introduce this great guest?
Well, yes. Title of the show today is basically looking back on past guest shows on E360 TV, the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And we're going to get to know the host, Dr. James Cooley, as well as myself, the co-host, and also have an interesting and amazing conversation with the founder, president, CEO of the OTT Network and E360 TV, Aaron Hymas, and discuss his vision and goals for E360 TV. We're also going to talk about the past shows and the guests that we've had, any upcoming projects that E360 TV has planned in the woodwork. So let's talk about our guest today, Aaron Hymas. And James, you excited? Okay, we're all excited.
I am very excited. I'm losing focus. I'm so excited.
Well, let me introduce our guest, Aaron. Aaron Hymas is a passionate and disciplined media executive that is focused on expanding over-the-top media distribution and marketing channels. With a background in media, marketing, and project management, Aaron focuses on the creation of cross-device distribution channels that includes a feature-rich viewing experience for audiences. This includes content to commerce, live content production, distribution, and branded content to create a value proposition that allows viewers to control their experience while unobtrusively pushing brands to the right people in the right places at the right time. Aaron is a producer of branded content and president, founder, and CEO of the OTT Network, E360 TV. Aaron also holds a bachelor's in business management and 2 MBAs in energy and project management. Without any further ado, we welcome the founder, president, CEO of OTT Network and E360 TV, Aaron Hymas, to the show.
Hey,
how you doing, Aaron?
Thank you guys for that great introduction of my LinkedIn profile.
Hey, how you doing, Aaron? Man, first of all, I want to thank you, man. I know how busy you are. I talk to you all the time. I know that you're running a million miles an hour. So want to welcome you to the show. And, I tell you, I want our viewers to really get an understanding of your vision with E360 TV, all the great things that we're doing, some of the partnerships that you're you have created and continue to create. So, but before we start all that, can you tell our viewers a little bit about you, where you grew up, and what made you the person that you are today?
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks again for having me on. Appreciate it. So I originally from the Midwest, a little place called Yankton, South Dakota. Fly speck on the map. Went into the military immediately following high school, and went into the Navy, East Pac. So I was over on that side of the world. And then after coming back to South Dakota, I decided to follow my sister, who was down in Phoenix, and came down here and haven't left. Well, except for 1 year. I moved to Hawaii for a year. But that was personal. And then at the same time, of course, working on the education, and worked for big corporate for many, 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 many years, until I'd say about 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, that's when I became a entrepreneur. So I branched out on my own, and have been doing it ever since, mostly in project management roles. Especially in the most of the time, it was like in product development, launches, branding, marketing, all that fun stuff. And then I got enveloped into the media world about 6-7 years ago, and really saw I saw an opportunity. Of course, there was a financial opportunity. So of course, it has to pencil, right? For entrepreneurs, it has to make sense financially. But at the same time, it was in this digital streaming space, and I thought it was a great opportunity to do something that traditional media could not do, which was highlighting and showcasing independent creators, especially up and coming, and to give them a bigger stage, while at the same time bridging that gap to audiences that were just getting inundated with the same kind of garbage, content that was out there. So nothing against that. I'm just saying that has a time and a place, and more fulfilling content has a time and a place also.
Wow. So, Aaron, you mentioned, you used to work for corporate America, and then you went on to entrepreneurship. Did you always want to be an entrepreneur, or did I come to you while you were in corporate America?
You know what? It was a combination of things. I never imagined myself as a entrepreneur, because where I come from is very much instilled that, you work and you save, and you 401k, all those traditional things. And so I never thought of myself. What I found the most difficulty when I was working for corporate is because, of course, everything is compartmentalized. You may be in sales, or you might be in a support position, or admin, or HR, or whatever it may be. It's very compartmentalized. And so if you have cool ideas, or you're like, gosh, I wonder if this would work for this company, it's not your place. So it's not an easy decision to jump off that cliff, jump into entrepreneurship, because you do have to be financially ready to do it, because there's going to be gaps of income realistically. And so I was at a position where I just wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to just get out of the shell of corporation and go and do my own thing. And I think where that was so, whatever you're going to say, gratifying for me, was being able to, you got an idea, go for it. And if you think that this marketing thing needs to change, then you do it. And if whatever changes you wanted to see, you had control, and to be able to do it. Now, that's a good and a bad. The good is, of course, that if it goes well, then yay for you. But if it doesn't go well, guess what? You're a founder, you're a boss, whatever you want to say, an owner. You're always the last to get paid. So, if it doesn't go well, struck out on that one. But if you're not failing during that journey, and if you're not failing enough, then you're not trying hard enough. You have to have that. Just comes with the territory. Dust yourself off, get moving. That's it.
Wow. So Aaron, I want to talk about this vision now and this E360. I think is absolutely fantastic. So can you tell our audience where did this idea of E360 come from? And basically, what was your vision when you first started? Because now you just blew it all out. It's just, and it's continued to grow, and NFL or Players Association, all this. I mean, let's talk about that a little bit.
We started off, Aggie Cobrin is the other co-founder, along with myself. We knew we wanted to give a bigger stage to independent creators. So we started with that. And we started off with that we're going to do video on demand only. And it was going to be more of a traditional model of running ads and putting up stuff as video on demand only. And that vision stayed. But the business model is what we changed, because we did that business model for a couple of years, and we just didn't feel that. Well, it wasn't rewarding enough to the content creators, or it wasn't rewarding to the network. And if both people aren't getting value, then something needs to change. So that's when we put our heads together. We came out with E360 TV Live, and that was what journey you guys are on with us, is this rollout of E360 TV Live. And that's where that became a beast. And not only was it that now we had all these creators, all these amazing voices that are coming out and going in one centralized place, which is a destination. You get a collective marketing that you get, so you get more people, more numbers. And then and that got recognized, so then we started doing events. So multiple day, multiple hour, had these events going. And then we started getting recognition from places like National Football League Players Association, where they said, wow, this is really cool. I think players would really like to own their own branding and be able to get their messaging out there. So, we partner up with them. And then you even have, now we're to the point where now we're bringing on other networks onto E360 TV and network. So it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's really been more of an organic, type of situation where it's really growing from there.
Wow. I want to come back. I want to talk about the challenges that you had when you first started, but we're going to take a station break before we do this. And I'll tell you, viewers out there, if you want to be part of this great conversation with Aaron, all you have to do is just go to, or let's StreamYard, authorize StreamYard to give you permission, give them permission to use your Facebook, and you can ask this great man any question you want to. It's your life, and I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we'll be back shortly after the break.
To know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to James Cooley Show. It's your wife, and I tell you, we're talking about E360 TV today, and just like I said, I'm so happy, Michelle and I are so happy to be part of this great organization, and just to be host on here. And we got the boss, the man, the legend, Aaron here, and so we're gonna pick it up from here, and then we're gonna start talking about past shows. And I'm excited about all of the great shows that we have had over the last 3 months on E360. I'm not talking about all of them because we're not gonna be able to get to all of them, but we're gonna talk about some of them. So if you want to be part of this great conversation, I tell you what, I'll just go to the comments portion of it, and you can ask Aaron, myself, or Michelle any question you want to. You got it, Michelle.
Yes, Aaron. When you started, when E360 TV began, what were the challenges that you encountered promoting this platform? Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's it does take a while to get your footing in this industry. It's a very, very noisy industry. You have some really big players in it, like the Hulus and Netflix and those things. So that's always a challenge. What you have to learn is that you don't compete with those big guys. Is that you have to find different ways of marketing to get to the very niche audiences for particular types of programming. And not only types of programming, but also the subjects that they're talking about. So that's where you have to get very, very smart and finite when it comes to your marketing, as in what are those different platforms to be able to get to those people when they're interested in those subjects, and then draw them into those episodes. And that challenge takes a while. That is because it's just running experiments, seeing if it takes, and then just running more experiments and seeing what it takes, and just doing smaller budgets, and to see what grabs hold. And then once you start figuring out what it looks like and what works and stuff, then you can just dump a little gasoline on it here and there, and then just see how far it goes before it starts drifting off again. So that the marketing aspect was a real challenge. The other part of it is big challenge was really the technology portion. So it's getting everything to everything in theory should work. I should hit this button, and it should be across all these different platforms, and they should all look good, and the lips are moving, and the audio's in sync, and all those things and stuff. But it doesn't work like that. It took us several months. Mm-hmm. We had a couple of the first hosts out of the gate. One was You know, you guys, Lauren Harris. He was one of our guinea pigs. So, yeah.
Hey, by the way, Lauren is watching the show, so.
Oh yeah. Well, he knows. I mean, it was because it was very hit and miss. You know, we were trying different virtual studios, and then we were trying different, it's called content delivery networks, and the in-betweeners and all these things and stuff, and it just we had to just get it where it was just spot on, every single time, and that took some time. So that was a real challenge. And there is, and I think the challenge to go along with that is that you have to have that patience level and that persistence level. And I guess I'm just stubborn enough to continue down that path. Now, I will say this, though. You gave me some accolades. I appreciate that and everything like that. But the way E360 TV was designed, I don't care if it's called peanut butter and jelly sandwich TV. That's E360 TV is just the shell. It's the delivery mechanism, but it's an empty shell without the creators inside, and like you all creating great content that has meat to it. It means E360 means nothing without that aspect of it. So it really is a kind of a handshaking that comes along with that. It is truly is a partnership, and I think that's why we feel so grateful, to help out with the marketing and the tools and all that stuff, because when shows get better, E360 TV gets better, helps other shows, helps E360 TV. It's just like this trade-off that's like a tennis thing, where it just bounces off each other and just keeps building from there.
Wow. I tell you, you had mentioned Lauren, and Lauren, I listen to his show every day. He teaches me, inspire, and influence me, because he's got such a great show, and he's been around probably longer than anybody, I guess, on E360. And but tell me about some other shows that you have. What type of shows other shows that you have on E360?
So we've really morphed into. So we have several categories. So we have the positive vibrations, which is very much, I would say, edutainment type of content. So you have a lot of, it's called positive vibrations, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's always uplifting and stuff. It is very, very much times very real world. Past episodes and stuff of COVID is happening, and racial tensions, and I'm sure there's things about Roe v. Wade and different subjects and stuff like that, where the point of that whole entire category was really just to have real people voice their concerns, and you really get to hear not talking heads talk about what people thought. You actually get to go into almost living rooms and get to know what actual people are thinking. We have Fresh Takes, which is mainly women's programming now. It started off as more of just fresh perspectives, and now it has become a lot more women's programming. We have the health and wellness category. We have some really great, besides, Lauren's has a really good show, dedicated following and such. But when it comes to other, like in our health and wellness and stuff, we have a couple people that I'm in love with, Food for Life. She's, and I'm escaping names right now, but, multiple sclerosis background, got into food as part of the entire sphere of being healthy and such for health reasons. And that's extremely beneficial, to our viewers. My sister had MS, and I know that was a constant fight, is balancing the onslaught of disease along with what can you control as a human, which to a point is limited. But and Diane Forrester, she is just an exceptional program. James and Michelle, you've only been around for it's been 3 months or so now, hasn't it? 2-3 months?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you guys are spitting out just awesome programming. And so it's what's nice about, I think, about this world is that in the E360 bubble is every single host is wanting to get better and better and better. And we're here to support that and to continue growing them as a host, as a producer, because you are everything. You are a producer, you're a director, you're a show host or co-host. You're probably getting your own coffee, so you don't even have a grip on site. So you fulfill all roles. But it's everyone is evolving, and all the different shows are taking on their own little, finding their own ways.
Oh yeah, you mentioned all of those different co-hosts and executive. Michelle is executive producer. Other show, she writes all the scripts. She put everything together, and probably, I've been in TV and radio for quite some time, and she's about. I'm not just saying that because she's my wife, but she's the most thorough executive producer that I had ever seen, and everybody that comes on the show in preparation, they knows that, So, Michelle, I think you had a question. So.
Yes, Aaron. Just kind of to kind of complete this conversation, what other projects are you working on?
So your timing is something on that question. We just actually kicked off our next official venture officially today. We started up a separate company called E360 Media Ventures. Our dream is that there will be 1 million networks. And what that is we're taking, because we had a lot of people coming to us and asking us how we do this. How can we help out hosts, but help out a network at the same time, and to grow in a sustainable manner, and to be able to fulfill it's what it wants, its vision. And so we are taking a white labeling of everything that we had to put together for E360 TV network, and now it's going to be offered out to other networks. So that is just kicked off today, and that'll be in the next several months, up to a year, that's rolling out. But that is going to be another new chapter for us as we grow. So there's so that's a big piece right there.
Wow, it's just going to continue to grow, Aaron, because your vision and just E360, from what I see and being a part of this for a few months, it's just absolutely fantastic. But we're going to take a station break. We're going to take a station break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about past shows. So I want everybody to stick around, tune in. If you want to be part of the show, go to the comments portion. You can just write in, and I'll make sure that we get it up there and we answer questions. Yes, your life. And I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we'll be back shortly after the break. Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunity / the Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and we got the founder and CEO of E360, and I tell you, they are doing a lot of great things. They're expanding, and I tell you, I believe that it's going to continue to grow. And Aaron, you did mention something about you guys trying to add I think you said 1 million networks. So that's wow. That's a challenge.
That's always like think big, dream big. I heard that somewhere.
Dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do.
Right.
So
that's always the pie in the sky. But it is. We see a lot of communities that are out there. You have a lot of communities out there, and name your niche, and you have a lot of members within those communities that want to get their messaging out, and so we stop at E360 TV. Let's grow that bigger. Let's grow that bigger market. It's a media is everywhere. It's growing. If you're looking at it's considered the OTT space, which is over the top television, digital streaming, is considered a market.
Aaron, can you tell our viewers or listeners out there if they wanted to, have a show on E360? Tell them 2 minutes less how they can do that.
Well, everyone meets with me because the conversation is, hey, is this right for you? Is this right for the network? Is this right for the other shows that are on the network? Don't want this to be a fling in the night kind of thing. Like, oh, I got excited this morning. I want to have my own show. And then 2 weeks, they don't feel like it anymore. For those people, I say, hey, just continue to do content on Facebook or something like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. To have a show that's taking it a little more serious, and also that it's got longevity to it. And then with that, then we have a page called e360tv.com /join-us. And you can also go to e360tv.com, upper right-hand corner, you'll see 3 little lines. Click that. There's one says join us, and then you can make your way through there to get in contact. And then it is a conversation. And then if it's a go, then we get you on a pathway to get going. It's usually at least a month to 2 months before someone's live, on their show, because there's things you got to build. You got to have assets. You got to have those intros and commercials, and you got to make sure you got a good space, and you got your lighting, and you got all these things that you want to have right, because you are going to be on 65-inch screen TVs. And when you mix in a little 4K camera in the mix there, boy, you see everything,
Oh, most definitely. So, what do you see as what the current trends are regarding, live streaming platforms? I mean, what do you see that's happening now and 6 months from now, in your opinion?
So I'd say that one of the things is the linear live streaming TV. So what has continued to happen is that you had cable TV people moving over to this digital side instead. And that's been for a lot of people it's the money. It's hard to rationale spending $100 and $150 on cable TV every month when I know that I can get a Roku device and I can download a couple apps and I could pay $8 to $15 or a bunch of free things like E360 is free. It's really hard to justify staying there, but there's a learning curve because now I'm not in the same environment of which is cable TV, which is where you just sit back and you hit your guide and it shows you what's on at exactly that time. And a lot of people just like that mindlessness. They don't want to go through and pick their show. And I mean, there's a whole audience that does, but there is a huge audience that just wants to just sit there and just, feed me, feed me. So one of the big trends that we're seeing is that as this conversion's happening over from cable TV, and even people that have been doing digital streaming for a while and consuming that the linear type of programming is getting more popular. Linear as in being digital, so on streaming now. So, but it looks very much like cable TV did. And that's kind of a hint of where we're heading. We're already 24/7 programming now, but that's going to be evolving also.
Wow. Again, I'm glad to be somewhere on the front end of all of the great things that's going on with E360 TV. And I tell you, it's been just like I mentioned, it's been a ride. And we're going to talk a little bit now about some past shows that we just had. And so I tell you, Michelle, it's just been an absolute pleasure, having a great team to put these things together. And Aaron, working with your team, your marketing folks, man, they are absolutely fantastic. I hope they're listening to this because they are teaching us a lot, and our content is becoming better. But Michelle, let's talk about past guests, and we have had some tremendous past guests. I tell you what, before we start that, let me run this real quick. Wow. That was probably about 20 shows. We have had some tremendous guests talking about all different types of things that are very influenced and very inspirational and inspiring. Michelle, you want to start this off?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've had some tremendous guests, and one of them is like a recurring guest, Dr. Michael Mantell. And one of the shows he did was what are the signs and causes of ageism, and he also talked about ageism discrimination. How we inadvertently may be saying things or contribute to like the stereotype of of a person who is, seasoned, up there in age. Like a comment such as, "Wow, you look good for your age." Oh my gosh. Or if they go to from a medical perspective, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes healthcare professionals, if someone who's up in age, goes to seek help, they're thinking, oh, it's just you getting older, that's why you're stiff or your bones hurt. Instead of taking it seriously and going a little bit exploring, could be the underlying reason why you're hurting. It has nothing to do with your age. I mean, just little comments like that. Or maybe the person who is up in age makes comments about themselves. Oh, I'm having a senior moment. What is that? I mean, what is a senior moment? I mean, we all are forgetful. So, we got to be careful of things like that. What are your thoughts on that topic, on that, and that our special guest?
Well, you asked what a senior moment is. One day you will have one of those. I seem to have them all the time. Now, Dr. Mentel, he's absolutely fantastic. And, it's this guy's so talented in all different areas. I have not been able to say, hey, when you talk about this, do you know anybody to talk about that one? If he don't know himself, he will find you someone to talk about that topic. So we have so many. One of my favorite was Refocus Africa with Dr. Sunshine and Lisa Cogney. And actually, we did the show from Africa. Last week, they was in Africa, in Nigeria, in Zanzibar as well, and Tanzania. And they gave our listeners a real live view of what it's like to be living in Africa, all the great resources that's there. I mean, a lot of people misunderstand. They think that the resources are not there and think it's primitive or something like that. This, from what I saw, from what they shared with videos, with understanding, meeting with the presidents of the countries and them sharing their stories, I mean, made me want to jump on a plane and head over there immediately. So it was that fantastic.
And we also have Ruth Ann Thorne, understanding the challenges the Native Americans face. She really went into detail about, how Native American people, like the artsy, the cultural thing they have brought to this country and still do, and how, how they have faced certain stereotypes, and discrimination within this country. So Ruth Ann definitely opened our eyes to a lot of things that Native Americans have faced and continue to face. And I'm also going to piggyback on that and just mention another guest, Jordan Colbert, How to Address Disability Myths in Society. Jordan has been a frequent guest on our show, and how people with disabilities are treated. It's not just physical disabilities, it's also emotional, mental disabilities, and he really went into detail about that. So, James, what other shows?
Hold on. Let's stay with Jordan for a second.
Okay.
Aaron, first of all, this young man is only 30 years old, right? And he's at Yale. I ain't talking about as a student. I mean, he's a director of programs at Yale. Ivy League guy, came out of Penn. Had a tough time growing up, and always had the determination that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And this guy, even though he's only 30, wisdom already that has touched him, because every time, I think he's been a guest on our show over the last year and a half, 2 years, 6 times. And he always brings it. I mean, he come up with a topic and he teaches, educate, and influence in his own way. And I that's kind of hard to say, Aaron, but everybody got that uniqueness about them, I think. And so he's one of my most favorite guests. But I tell you, We got a lot more guests we want to talk about, but we're going to have to take a quick break.
I'd like to, a few of those that you brought up and stuff, with, stereotyps about the country of Africa. Very easy to build that because of what's depicted on TV. I mean, they don't look the lushness of the jungles I did a project years ago with someone that was a product out of Senegal. If you look Senegal from 2,000 feet up, you go, oh, why would it be there? Turns out one of the more balanced places. I mean, when it comes to populations, as in just, I don't know how to say, just peacefulness and stuff like that. But there's just always stereotypes that are associated with things. I think there were the things that come with that enlightenment, like your, 30-year-old and stuff, is that we have to challenge ourselves as human beings to think differently, because we're brought up a certain way. It gets entrenched. And honestly, you don't know whether it's wrong or not wrong because it just is. So then you get to a certain point when it comes to you noticing that you're making stereotypes about people, whether because it's age, which that's things, whether it's color, whether it's ethical background like Native American, whatever it may be and stuff, or handicap, especially, is that you have to train yourself on looking beyond those things. And it takes a little bit. I'll tell you, I don't want to interrupt your program too much, but my wife and I challenged ourselves years ago to always describe people without using any of the big characteristics like color, height, things like this and stuff. All the things that may be quote unquote as in, finish my word there, finish my sentence, as in it could be, what's my word I'm looking for? Anyways, we challenged ourselves to that. And it was a very, very interesting path, because then all of a sudden you find yourself snapped out of that old behavior. So I think it's that enlightenment that comes from all these different conversations and knowing that these things still are existent, of course. And anyways.
What
I don't know if any of that made sense, by the way.
All of it made sense, and I want to pick it up. We're going to take a quick break, but when I come back, those are types of feedback and comments that we're looking for with past guests, because a lot of uniqueness is there, and a lot of things that need to be brought to awareness on how we can all be better as people. So we're going to take a station break. And we're going to come back. It's going to be equipment. We're going to pick it up from that. It's your life. I'm Dr. James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Is Annette Wittenberger. I am the founder of A Wild Ride Call Life, and
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, that's Aaron. You hit it on the nose, man. When you was commenting on some of the things and some of the shows that we had, because that's what It's Your Life is about: is to bring out all of these things, to bring out the uniqueness and awareness, and also to help inspire and uplift people, regardless of race, creed, color, regardless was you black, white, pink, gold, purple, was you gay or not. I mean, to Michelle and I, it doesn't matter. We see people as people. Let's work together. Let's love each other for who we are. So just did any other show that we talk about stand out to you? You got it.
Well, because I see it as a business thing. To me, is that the word diversity gets thrown around, but I don't think you have an enlightening moment of what that actually means, especially for business. Is that if you're not diverse, you're missing the mark. You have a void in your entire system. And it is critical that you fill that gap. Extremely critical. And it's not percentages. It's not that. That's not the point. The point is that we all think differently, and that's good, because how boring would this world be if we all thought that?
That's a great point, Aaron. And I do want to go over just a couple of guests and the show topics that we've had. We had the amazing Jen Bruno, who is a health coach. And sometimes people don't know what a health coach is. It's not just physical, it's about mental, getting your mind ready to do what you need to do. I mean, health and wellness is not just about physical, it's about mental, it's about things that may be blocking you from achieving your ultimate physical goal. And then of course we had Robert Saucedo, the importance of psychological wellness. I mean, he discussed that topic, and he's amazing. He's doing amazing things within the community. And then we had Kelly Capon Douglas. How does the foster care system work? And she talked about the issues and the challenges, and placing children who are still in the foster care system. And Bonnie Mantell, how the American families are changing. They are changing, people. And she talks about, and Bonnie's a lawyer, she talks about, situations about, unfortunately, when people decide to separate and end their marriage, the legal aspects of that, which you should look for in a divorce attorney. And Lisa Stewart, why learning about God is important. Lisa's an important woman, and she has a heart and compassion for others. James, what other guests that we've had in the show?
Well, we had Grandpa and we had Graham Beckham, and they talked about what is mindset training, getting rid of all the negativity, concentrating on the positivity of things. We got my very, very, very good friend, Paula Shaw, who gave me my first opportunity in radio, and just by being a guest on her show. And I tell you, she is so wonderful. And she talks about the global hearts of Ukraine, but she also talks about a lot of other different things because she's a therapist. Ryan Garland, How to Preserve Your Wealth in Turbulent Times. That was so an amazing show. And Michelle, we got to wrap it up. We had Tom Jones that talked about the Liberty Project. Liberty is regardless of which side of the fence you're on, Republican, Democrat, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. We all are Americans. Wherever you're at in the world, we all have to live together, and we all have to learn to love each other. So the Liberty Project is doing all those great things. And we got so many, many more, Aaron, that shows that we have had on and that we're going to continue to have on. And it's just a joy to be on your network. And Michelle and I thank you so, so much for giving us this opportunity.
Appreciate you guys being, and it's our network.
Yeah. So, Aaron, any closing remarks, because we down to about a minute of the show.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, we got to close out, huh? Another show coming up there. So I would say that, I I'd say for the people that are interested in possibly becoming a host and stuff, is if you really do down deep know that you have a messaging to get out there. Don't be afraid, because the world is changing when it comes to media and delivery and what people are looking for. They're not just looking for the Kardashians. So stick your neck out a little bit, take a little leap of faith, and go for it. But and the other thing is to download the E360 TV app. iOS, Android, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all those. And that's the end of the plugs.
So hey, download that app and you can watch it on E360 TV. But also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need everybody to subscribe to that one. I tell you what, we had such a wonderful time. Aaron, you know that you are welcome on the show anytime. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank my great co-host, Michelle Cooley. I would like to thank all the great listeners out there. The parting note, I want everybody to always dream big, think big, and be big. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back next week. It's your life. I'm Dr. James Cooley.